please subscribe to our channel. Directed by Misan Harriman, Netflix's short film, The After is a gut-wrenching tale about a man who is in pain and who can't seem to get over a tragic event that happened in his life in the past. The Netflix short film reminds us how fragile life is and how we shouldn't take any aspect of it for granted. The short film tells about Deo, who was a busy man, and we saw him taking work calls, even during his break when he had come to spend some time with his daughter. His daughter, Laura, had a performance at her school that very day, but Deo, as usual, didn't have time to attend it. His wife had requested that he take out some time for Laura, as she really wanted her father to be there when she went on stage. Deo's wife didn't have any hope that he would be able to make it, but still, she asked him, hoping that some miracle would happen and he would be able to postpone his meetings for a couple of hours. Deo had almost decided not to attend the performance when a bicycle almost hit Laura, and for a moment, Deo's heartbeat got fast. He stood as if he was in some deep thought, and that's when something snapped inside him, and he decided to attend his daughter's performance. He called James, his colleague, and told him to postpone everything as he was not going to be back soon. Deo, at that moment, had realized that it was a close shave and that the bicycle could have actually hit Laura. He was reminded of how much he treasured her little daughter and how, because of work, he had not been able to spend any time with her. People these days talk about work-life balance, and Deo, at some point in time, would have thought about it, but we think that this conversation should have never existed in the first place. We work to live, not the other way around. I agree that work gives purpose to a lot of people, but in today's world, we fail to recognize that our lives consist of many other things that are probably more important than the work we do. Often, we fail to recognize the importance of family and friends, and no matter how much we progress in life and how much we ace at work, if we do not have anyone to share that happiness with, then all the success and all the victories will amount to nothing. Deo had probably understood that, and that's when he decided to prioritize his family over his work life. He met his wife, who was surprised to know that he was going to come with her. Deo got a call from James when, out of nowhere, a psychopath arrived with a blood-stained knife, and he stood in front of Laura and her mother. Deo was on a call when he saw the killer approaching towards his wife and child. He shouted at the top of his lungs for him to stop. But the killer didn't stop, and he stabbed Laura and pushed her down from the bridge. Deo's wife, in a state of shock, also jumped from there, and Deo stood there, seeing his entire life shatter in front of his own eyes. A grief-stricken Deo constantly ran from facing his past, but the pain never went away, and in fact, it kept getting worse with every passing day. He started driving a cab, and often, he heard the conversations his passengers had. He empathized with a few, and to some, he just wanted to tell that time was not unlimited and they should express their love or do whatever they wanted to now. At times, he saw people having the same ideologies as he did in the past, and every time, he realized how foolish he was to think like that. One time, a couple hired the cab, who had a daughter who reminded Deo of his little girl, Laura. The couple argued throughout the journey while the little kid was sitting in between, traumatized. Deo wanted to hug the little girl and tell her that it wasn't her fault that her parents were behaving in this manner, but obviously, he couldn't. When the couple reached their destination, they went to the door of their house and once again started fighting. Their daughter, Amy, did not come down from the cab for the longest time. It felt like she didn't want to go to her parents, as she didn't like it when they fought. Amy finally stepped out of the car, and she was leaving when something snapped inside her. She turned and hugged Deo unexpectedly, and even her parents were shocked at what she was doing. That hug, that warmth, and that assurance were all that Deo needed, and after that, the floodgates of his inner core opened and tears rolled from his eyes. During the after's ending, the man completely broke down. Probably for the first time, he cried his heart out. He embraced reality, stopped running from his past, and realized that he would have to eventually move on and live his life, because that is what his wife and daughter would have wanted. But we do know that it is easier said than done, and Deo would still feel that void probably throughout his life. We hope that Deo gets the courage to face his reality and somehow manages to find happiness and some purpose in life. So that's the after short film summary and ending explained. I hope you like this video. Please leave a comment and subscribe to this channel. See you in another video. Bye.